The point of a debrief, and people get this wrong so often, is they spend time just creating a journal, a history of stuff that's happened. That's not the point. That's not what you're trying to do. With a debrief, what you're trying to do is trying to work out what you currently know, then what you need to know. That's key. But if you don't start from what you currently know, you can't find out what you need to know and how you need to find it out. Once you start to work out how you need to find this out, you generate a new part of your debrief. This then helps you generate a new skill. This now increases what you know, and now that you know more, you can then start to add to this onwards and onwards and onwards. It's an ever evolving process, and that's the key to it. It's about constantly evolving your process. What a debrief should not be doing is teaching you or trying to learn the same things over and over again. Early debriefs are all about trying to work out what you understand, trying to collect information to start generating new ideas. Usually, and this you'll see, I'll give you an example of the sort of progression of their debriefs through time. Usually what will happen is initially you'll start off on what I would call a kind of playbook style. Very detailed analysis of stuff. You're trying to get into the nuances, the how exactly something happens, why it happens, where precisely you can spot that happening. And ultimately, that's what you need. You need those little details, those bits that show you exactly how to take a trade on, what you're looking for, how you can differentiate it from other ideas and from other situations. That's the beginning phases. But over time, once you've learned how to do something, you don't need to keep on going over the precise details of every trade. And so I think some people's debriefs over time, they become stale because they're going through the motions of the details of what's going on. When they know these things, they know what's going on. And so over time, it now needs to evolve and shift more towards thoughts, your management of your performance, how you actually plan out your day, how you actually have reacted to certain situations, how you could increase size on that trade. You know what the trade should do, you know how to take the trade on. So now it's much more about, well, what's holding you back from pushing this further? The way you have to try and think about this is, and I'll show you a little chart of this in a bit, a sort of simplified explanation, is that initially you can generate more ideas and more trades and more setups and more opportunities. Over time, you can't continue to generate opportunities. So you need now to look at, well, how do you become more efficient in those opportunities? How do you maximize those opportunities? How do you increase size on those opportunities? Incremental improvement, basically. That's what you're looking for. One of the ways that is done is predominantly through more of a reflective version of a debrief. So within the week, you're trying to create a more generalized view of what's going on, of roughly where opportunities were. And then you'll have a sort of step back review of this, which is what generates new ideas, generates new ways of doing things that you already do. I was talking to one of these guys actually this morning about the kind of idea. What he was asking about was like, well, should he be trying to find out new things here and new things there? And I was saying to him, well, it's a lot easier to get better at something you already do well and to improve that than it is to learn something completely different. Now, this doesn't mean don't learn other things and don't learn new things, but what it means is improve what you're doing well now, and whilst you're doing that, you can then start to learn other stuff. But take on the job that you can deal with straight away. You do something currently well, let's make that better and better and better, whilst then giving because that gives you the time, it gives you the equity and account to grow other ideas, to generate other ideas. The hardest thing in trading is to go through a period of poor performance and then have to try and generate new ideas then. Quite simply, the reason for that is that you will find anything that seems a good idea when you're having a bad run, because the desire is not to generate new ideas and better plays and better plans. The desire is to get out of the bad run. It becomes P&L focused. So if you focus on what you're doing well now and then learn other stuff whilst you're doing well at something, that then means that you're learning other stuff because of the fact you want to learn other stuff, rather than the other approach of you need to learn something new. And so you learn whatever is the easiest thing to try and learn, which often isn't the answer.